Let's dive into one of the weirdest quirks in AI right now. How is it that a machine can dream up these incredible, mind-blowing works of art, but then totally fail at something as simple as writing a sentence? It's a real paradox, and we're about to figure it out.
I mean, have you ever seen this yourself? You ask an AI for an image, and you get something amazing, something just perfect, like this lineup of the 12 zodiac animals you see on the left. Every single detail is spot on. But then you ask it for a basic infographic, and you get this gibberish on the right. The design is okay, I guess, but the text, it looks like a completely different language. How can an AI be a master painter and yet be totally illiterate?
Today we're finally getting some answers. We are digging into the technical report for a brand new model called QWEN Image, and its whole mission really was to crack this exact problem.
And the report, it pretty much confirms what a lot of us already thought. It highlights two huge hurdles that even the best models out there stumble on. First, just understanding and actually following complex instructions. And second, what we're really focusing on today, getting text right, rendering it accurately. Especially when you've got different languages and tricky layouts. And trust me, this is a way harder problem than it looks.
So, how did the team behind QWEN Image tackle this? Well, their first move is one of those things that sounds simple but is anything but easy. It all comes down to the AI's diet, the data it learns from. They figured it was time for a serious data detox.
And right here, this is a huge insight. The secret to a smarter AI, it isn't just throwing more data at it, it's about quality. They knew that to build a better model, they had to feed it dramatically better, cleaner data. So to do that, they built this incredibly tough 7-stage filtering system to get rid of all the junk.
And this just gives you a sense of the scale we're talking about. This isn't just a filter, it's this massive data laundering operation. You can see the raw data coming in on the left, and it flows through all these different stages of cleaning and refining until only the absolute best stuff makes it out the other side for training.
So let's look at just one of those stages. They call it the clarity filter. The system is smart enough to automatically spot and just toss out blurry, low-res images, like that one on the right. But it keeps the sharp, high-quality pictures like this amazing cat on the left. The logic here is pretty simple, right? If you want the AI to make clear images, it has to learn from clear images.
And here's another one, the Luma Filter. This stage is all about lighting. It finds and gets rid of images that are way too dark or completely blown out and overexposed, like that white image on the right. This makes sure the AI learns from photos that are balanced and well lit, like the living room on the left. It just leads to way better results in the end.
Okay, so cleaning up the data is a huge first step, but that really just improves the look of the images. To actually conquer the text problem, they needed to be way more direct. You can't just cross your fingers and hope the AI figures out how to read. You actually have to sit down and teach it.
And to do that, the QWEN Image team came up with this brilliant 3-step process. They created a whole new library of synthetic data from scratch, designed specifically to teach the model how to handle text. And it's structured just like a lesson plan, starting with the easy stuff and getting more and more complex.
They start with the absolute fundamentals. You can literally think of these as flashcards for an AI. In this pure rendering stage, they just generate text, like these Chinese characters, on plain, simple backgrounds. This forces the model to learn the basic shapes of letters and characters without any other visual noise getting in the way. Okay, next up is compositional rendering. Now the AI graduates from flashcards to more real-world situations. It's trained on images where text shows up naturally inside a scene, like this handwritten note on a piece of paper. This teaches the model how text actually looks in the real world, how it's affected by lighting, textures, and perspective. And finally, we get to the masterclass, complex rendering. Now the AI learns from really structured templates, like PowerPoint slides or infographics. This is where it learns not just to write words, but to understand layout, hierarchy, and how to follow complex instructions that tell it to put specific text in specific places.
So we've got clean data, and we've got a great curriculum for teaching the AI to read. But there's still one more piece of the puzzle, the engineering that makes all of this possible. You need a really smart system to handle a training process this massive and this complicated without taking forever.
They use a system called a producer-consumer framework. Honestly, the best way to picture it is like a super efficient restaurant kitchen. The producers are the prep cooks. They're just prepping the data, getting it all ready. The consumers are the head chefs. They're the GPUs. And all they do is the actual cooking, or training. This assembly line is so efficient, the chefs never have to wait for ingredients. It makes the whole thing incredibly fast.
And the training itself? That also happens in stages. They start the model off on tiny, 256-pixel images, so it can learn the basics super fast. Then, they gradually ramp up the resolution all the way past 1300 pixels, feeding it better and better data with each step. It's kind of like leveling up a character in a video game.
So, we've seen all the hard work, the intense data cleaning, the smart teaching plan, the clever engineering. But the big question is, did it actually work? It's time to see how QWEN Image really performs against the best of the best.
To put their model to the ultimate test, they used a platform called the AI Arena. It's pretty simple. You get a prompt, and then you see 2 images from 2 totally anonymous AI models. You just vote for the one you like better. With thousands of people voting, you get a really fair ranking of which models are truly the best. It's a completely blind, unbiased showdown.
And the results? They are seriously impressive. After tons of these head-to-head battles, QWEN Image landed in 3rd place globally. It's right up there with models from giants like Google and ByteDance. But what's really amazing is that it's the only open-source model in the top 5, going toe-to-toe with these huge proprietary systems.
1024. That's the ELO score that proves all that hard work paid off. A score that puts it firmly among the world's most elite image generators.
But hey, let's see the proof for ourselves. Remember that messed up infographic from the beginning? On the right is what a top competitor made, and on the left, that's QWEN Image. Every word is perfect. The icons are in the right place. It followed every single complex instruction perfectly.
And this example, this one is just on another level. The prompt asked for billiard balls with specific text on them. Now, look at the QWEN Image result on the left. Not only is the English text flawless, but it also renders complex Chinese characters perfectly on a curved 3D surface. I mean, the competitor's attempt on the right isn't even in the same league.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, teaching an AI to read wasn't about one single aha moment. It was this careful combination of cleaning the data, designing a really smart training curriculum, and then backing it all up with clever engineering. It really suggests that the future of AI isn't just about building bigger and bigger models, but about finding smarter ways to teach them.
And that leaves us with one last, really exciting question to think about. We're getting so close to the point where these tools don't just get close to our ideas, but they execute them perfectly. So when the only real limit is our own imagination, what are we going to ask them to create?